I believe you have lost the life ring buoy from your sailboat?
How did you know that?
I have found it. Your boat is called the Parsimony, is it not?
Why, yes, she is. A little joke of my competitors in the business world.
Hardware, was it? Do not press him, Hastings.
That's right. Listen, that boy's no good to me anymore. It was damaged in a storm. I've been trying to find another without much success. I even tried to beat Bagby at darts for the boy and his war, but I couldn't do it.
Where were you from 11:15 and 20 of 12 this morning?
Easy. I put out in my yawl about 9, then spent the morning zipping up and down the bay. Just got back a few minutes after 1 and heard the news about the murder. Ghastly business.
Could you see Cutter's Cove from your boat?
Well, yes. I suppose I could have, but I wasn't looking, I'm afraid.
Can you shed any light on the murder?
If I was looking for a suspect, I couldn't rule out that Mrs. Redfern. Jealousy, you know, led to trouble before this.
Yes, unfortunately, Madame Marshall was strangled by someone with powerful hands. That does not suggest Madame Redfern. Hastings, do you therefore rule out all women as suspects?
Of course. No woman would have the strength.
We will speak more of this in a moment. Perhaps I will try a game of the darts.
Good luck. He's the best player I've ever seen.
Fancy a game, sir? Care to make a gentleman's wager?
I will play you for that life ring buoy on your wall.
Oh, very well. But it's worth 10 quid. Is it a bet?
£10 for a boy? That's highway robbery.
Only if he wins, Hastings.
10 quid against the boy. You throw first.
I didn't think you had it in you. Well done.
I have obtained the life ring buoy.
So that's mighty nice of you, Poirot. Anything I can do for you in return?
Do you have the compass I might borrow?
Well, I guess I could let you use my compass. Not much use for it sailing around Lethercombe Bay. Mind you, return it though.
Do you have the winch handle I might borrow?
Winch handle? From my sailboat? Not bloody likely. How would I haul my sails up and down? If you'll excuse me, Poirot, I have some business to attend to. Don't worry, I'll be around the hotel if you need me.
Poirot, do you think a woman could have strangled Elena?
In 1926 was the first woman to swim the English Channel. I believe she could strangle you with ease, especially if you asked such a nonsensical question.
Then we should put all the women on the island to the test. Somehow.
Very well.
Poirot, any indications yet on Elena Marshall's murder?
Indications, yes, but there is still work to be done, Colonel.
Of course. How can I help?
Has the body been moved from Cutter's Cove?
Yes. Dr. Neasden is performing the autopsy right now in Kingsbridge.
Did your men uncover anything new from the murder scene?
No, nothing, I'm afraid.
Have you an answer from Scotland Yard on the sketch?
Yes, goes by the name of John North. Here's the report.
I will copy the important points into my notebook.
Nasty bit of goods there. Hate to hear he's in my district.
Have you the report on the Alice Corrigan case?
Here you are. As I said, it wasn't my district. Chief Constable in charge did all he could. Eventually turned it over to Scotland Yard. They have a couple of men on it, I believe.
Merci beaucoup. I will make the notes of my own.
The husband's alibi looks unbreakable, and there are no other real suspects.
Do you have the background checks on the suspects?
Not yet, I'm afraid.
Mrs. Castle is very nervous. She may attempt the escape.
We're ready to follow if she does.
I have here the letter, written to Elena, signed only J.N. Do you think you could have Scotland Yard ask among her acquaintances in London if they can identify this man?
Cheyenne? It's not much to go on. Do you have anything else?
This photograph of the Redferns was taken by a Jimmy Nash, as you can see from the reverse side.
Yes.
I will ask Monsieur Redfern if he knows Monsieur Nash, but please send it along to Scotland Yard as well. It may help.
Of course.
Did Monsieur Blatt report to you that his boat had been fired upon?
I'll say not. When was this?
That I cannot tell you. He mentions an accident in the storm only.
What storm? We've had fair weather for weeks now.
Then why would he conceal such an attack?
I could bring him in for questioning.
Not just yet, please. Again, I would advise only to watch his movements should he leave Seadrift Island.
I'll inform my men.
That will do for now, monsieur.
Hello again, Mr. Poirot. How can I help you?
I have a few matters to discuss only. What can you tell me of hotel guest movements this morning?
Well, let's see. Mr. Lane came across on the sea tractor fairly early this morning, about 8, I'd say, and set off on foot across the moor. He hasn't come back yet. Major Barry picked up his car, thanks again for repairing it, and drove off to Kingsbridge just before 10. Say, 10 minutes of... Major Black came in from sailing not too long ago and headed for the Monk's Head. I've seen no one else except the police and Dr. Needston coming and going. Colonel Weston went back to the police station, I think.
Do you know Mr. North?
The day tripper gent with the binoculars?
That is he.
Haven't seen him today at all, but he has no trouble wading across the causeway on his own.
He has been visiting Seadrift Island often?
Every now and again over the past few months. Anything else I can help you with, Mr. Poirot? You did a bang-up job on that motor of Major Barry's.
Do you have the handle of the winch used for the raising and lowering of the sails?
No, but I can probably track one down for you. Come back later this afternoon.
What can I do for you, Mr. Poirot?
You have heard of the terrible tragedy?
The murder of that wonderful actress, Mrs. Marshall? Oh, yes.
I have been asked to investigate.
Well, I'm sure you'll clear it up as fast as you found my missing post.
Merci, madame. Did you see any of the hotel guests this morning?
Yes. Major Barry came in around 9:30. He wanted to use the phone. Then he declared it wasn't private enough for his needs and said he'd drive into Kingsbridge instead. What do you suppose was so private he couldn't call from here? It's not as if I'm one to gossip.
Of course not. Did you see anyone else?
Yes. That young stepdaughter of Mrs. Marshall's came in to refill a prescription for her.
What was the prescription?
A sedative. Trional.
When was Mademoiselle Marshall here?
Why, it was only a little while ago. Right before I heard the news of the murder.
Hold on. Elena was well dead by that time.
Indeed, she had no more need of the sedatives. Thank you, Madame Hughes. That is all my questions. I am sorry, mon ami, but I do not think we will find the information we seek in that chapter. The liquid in the unmarked bottle from Madame Marshall's bath is the color that made her hair such a striking shade. The substance in Elena's coffee? It is Trional, a powerful sedative. The substance contained in the smashed bottle found in Cutter's Cove? It is perfume? I am sorry, mon ami. The substance on the stick pin, it is candle wax. The substance in Monsieur Black's suitcase is the oil for the protecting of a gun from rust, Hastings.